Alright, so the same thing here. I'm going to be pulling this cover off here today. Notice this wraps down a little. Alright, so I'm coming in here today and I'm going to be doing the same thing. Cutting all these hog rings off, getting these seat covers off of here. So I'll come back in a minute and show you why these are factory seat covers on this 70 Wildcat. But I always like when I'm doing these videos and I'm tearing these old cars apart that have never been done, and how this was never connected from the factory. So apparently it looked like this should have been angled out just a little bit so these have enough room. I mean, you still could have pulled it and clamped it though, but it wasn't clamped from the factory. Just always like to point that little stuff out when I'm doing these videos. Alright, so now that cover should be ready to come off of here. Now seeing that the top was good, the cushions on the top was good. See, like I said, you can look at this and tell that this is still factory cover here, 1970. What is that, 1970. So this factory cover. Another way I can tell that this is a factory cover, because in here this got the fake thread stitching in here. So if you go buy a car and you know it's in immaculate condition and they tell you this is an all original car, and you look at this stitching and it's been restitched by an industrial sewing machine, it's not factory. The factory is like a plastic molding that was in there. So that's one way you can tell. So that's the front and back seat cover. How to remove them. And then my cushion is in great condition here. This cushion is in really, really good condition. So all I'm gonna have to do is put the mesh on here so I can reclamp this down. So I'll replace all of this, and this is just glued on here, but really it's holding in place pretty good, so I might not even have to worry about reusing this stuff here. But all this was just it's glued onto here, and then it gives you something to clamp this to hold the cushion in place, because that cushion will come off of there. It's just so old and rusted on there. But let's say like if I was gonna pull this off and maybe have this sandblasted or pour 15 it, then I'd have to make sure I put this mesh back on there to hold the cushion in place. But that's what that's for there, guys. So as always, I marked this 70 Wildcat hardtop rear lower. You know, so this is the back bench seat for the 70 Wildcat. So I always mark them, guys. You know, I could die tomorrow. You know, hopefully natural causes in my sleep. But at least this way, the family won't have to be running around trying to figure out what parts are for what car. So when I take them up to the vault, you know, I like to mark all of my stuff. As I'm taking this stuff apart, I like to bag and tag. I know I repeat the same thing all the time, but the reason I do that is, like I said, if something ever happened, you know, the family, if they don't want to deal with the cars, they can just sort through everything, take a couple of weeks, sort through everything, and just stack everything up around that 70 Wildcat hardtop if I'm not done with it. Throw all the parts on the inside, put it up for sale, and you know, whoever come get the car, they'll have everything they need. So that's why I like tagging everything. And then, you know, hey, you got the car sometime. You know, I got my 75 Century been tore apart for over 6 years. And, you know, you just want to have all your parts sorted, so when they go back to putting that car back together, you don't have to be sorting through all your boxes. And I have all the boxes tag labeled, individual screws, nuts, bolts, everything tagged. So that's just the way I do things, guys.